Hello, everybody, and welcome to another scene in Sept of the Howling Winds, a werewolf the apocalypse venue set in San Diego, California. Today, Coraline is just kind of reflecting over the mood, and she is walking along. She's just walking along the riverbank, hobbling, actually. She's walking forward with her cane.
And while she's going along the riverbank, she sees a large black wolf eating what appears to be a large white bird. And there's feathers all over the place, as well as the remains of a white bird that looks similar. Looks like a swan.
Cora smiles and she'll say, "Hello, Veronica. Are you out hunting, I see?"
She stops and looks at her, licks her chops.
She smiles. I don't really go hunting too much, but uh, I've never really had a particular taste for swans, though. She narrows her eyes.
Never had them, so I thought I would try it today.
I guess I could try some too, then, I guess. She looks at her. May I?
She pushes her paw to move the swan body.
She shifts to Lupus and does the little limping dog motion to the swan and starts eating it, chewing at it.
One moment. So you notice that it has a fishy taste. It's kind of weird. I'm looking up what the swans taste like on Google. So yeah, the only thing that you're having a hard time is getting past the moving the feathers off.
she she manages, and she's chewing it, licking her chops.
Veronica
She'll,
does a motion with her tongue on the feathers, just so it's like you learn how to brush the feathers off, like
so
some
she
predatory.
so she strips the feathers how Veronica shows her. Nom 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 nom. Ooh, that's interesting. Nom 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 nom.
So you never hunt it.
I didn't say I didn't hunt. I just don't hunt much. It's harder to track predator or harder to track food whenever you're at a disadvantage.
Veronica gives her a look like she understands. That would make things more challenging. Perhaps we should try. You do have the advantage of a pack. Perhaps if you really want to, they could try to lure prey and you could snatch them.
This is true.
If you
I'm also
desire that.
I'm also very good at understanding what plants I can forage, which is a little bit different than most gurus since we're more hunters rather than gatherers. She narrows her eyes.
I've seen some people do some interesting things with plants. I wouldn't underestimate that at all.
And that's very wise. She smiles. It's kind of creepy, actually. Like, what? This is coming from Cora?
Outer game, Cora's not being depressed. Excellent.
Core is never depressed, actually. But no, she manages to finish up the swan, and she'll just kind of tilt her head and say, "It's very strange, the fishy taste. You would think it would taste more like chicken since it's a bird."
I thought so too. It's so weird.
Hmm. Well, we have bones. I guess they could use this for the cracking of the the bone next time. She laughs.
Veronica does a chuff that looks similar to a laughter. They would have that. I have a few ideas of the cracking of the bone, but I don't think most would approve. It might change now. Idea would be you find an offending human, you tie them to a lightning rod, you let Grandpa the Thunder strike them, and whatever bones remain you use for the cracking of the bone.
She blinks at that statement, narrows her eyes, and studies Veronica. So you have her and her dog form just kind of head tilted, like staring at her.
She's like, "What? Why are you so mean?" But that's not too many people. It would have to be something very serious for that to happen.
She nods. I understand punishment like that. That as long as the Philodox have done their duty and deemed that they have been in that situation, I can understand that.
Only one person I know got punished for this, but his crimes were so serious. Skin dancer.
Well, there you have it. He's a skin dancer, for one.
Yes. However, there would be no crack in the bone because there was nothing left of him when we're done with him.
She tilts her head and she studies Veronica again.
Oh, I don't know if your parents told you, but about me and my two husbands.
Two husbands? She narrows her eyes. She's like, "Is that normal?"
Maybe in your area you weren't used to it. Some Garu do have multiple spouses, especially if
Oh,
they grow in power. It's not unheard of.
oh, okay.
Unlike some, because I did start with my first husband as a kinfolk, I do make a rule that whatever I'm allowed, they're allowed. They get the same type of respect back.
Well, respect is earned, so.
Exactly. And I don't pick anybody. So, me and my two husbands are your godparents.
She blinks. I was not informed of this. Okay. Um, well, it's nice to know that you're my godmother. she tilts her head.
Second thing, Veronica just rolls on her side and puts her paw on her belly.
She sits down in like the dog pose.
She doesn't get it, does she?
No, she doesn't get it. Second thing, okay.
Veronica shifts the hobbit and puts her hand on her stomach. I am 1 month pregnant.
Oh, I thought you were just saying you were full. I'm sorry. Pregnancy
Steve,
is
I'm
a.
not hearing you. Sorry.
She said, "I'm sorry. I thought you were just stating that you were full." Um, I I'm not so used to the concept of pregnancy since.
You're still young. There's still certain things you're still learning.
I may never really fully understand that. I mean, I understand pregnancy. It's just I know that is enough something that will never happen with me.
You can always adopt somebody. I do have a packmate beta that is a metis, and they
Um,
adopted somebody.
I already do have a son.
She perks up.
His name is Coda.
Oh, you're with that Emery person.
She nods.
As long as you're happy, that's what matters.
Yes, I love him. He's very special.
How long have you been together? I'm just
Only a
curious if you don't want to.
only a month. I understand that's a short time. I did not realize how it was not normal at first, but I'm still very happy.
That's all that matters. And honestly, what goes on with two people is no one else's business.
She blushes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any of the more complicated stuff, I'll let your parents can go deal with that. But if you want to talk to anybody, maybe my two husbands you can speak to on certain things.
Okay, I would very much like to get to know all of you.
I have to find a moment when they're free, but I could introduce you to my two husbands.
She nods. I'm intrigued over a lot of things on the set, and I'm not unused to things of the Guru, but when it comes to things that are so-called normal, she narrows her eyes.
You mean traditional?
I would consider myself to be traditional. No, I'm talking about appropriate in human society, I would say.
It depends where you're going in human society. They're very different depending where you are. You haven't
Well,
been
I
out
had
much, have you?
I've left Sept a few times, but I had to get used to the vehicles known as cars.
So you never so you've been in a car. Have you been into like the city or anything like that?
I have I made Eli a white trash gift basket with my mother and my brother Alexi.
So I
She
assume you
grins.
also I assume you also met Alexi.
Yes, because we went shopping together for that.
You probably also met Rose.
Yes, I did, and I met uh, her husband. Out of character, I don't remember her husband's D name.
Dominic.
She's not gonna say Dominic.
I don't
Uh,
remember his D name either, but
she would. Oh, it's not one that I remember, but yeah. Anyway, she'll say that his D name. It
you
was a
know,
very, it was a very interesting experience. He punched Hand of a Seer in the face and yelled for letting him go, which I can only assume was the previous alpha dev. Being a poisoner myself, I assume that he wanted to kill him through toxins. But that's just my opinion.
Veronica has a look like she has a serious look like she's not mad at you, but like you could tell something annoyed her.
She tilts her head. Well, what's bothering you?
Uh, just a lot has been going on mostly, and just seeing certain people of when I find out like something's happening to them. That's all.
Hmm. Well, um, so it must be very interesting being the protege to the Alpha of the Sept. That's something remarkable.
Yeah, she actually went looking for me when she came to the Sept.
Then you must be somebody of great importance.
I am. I'm planning. I'm going places. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done at the Sept too, and I've been working on that.
She nods. Well, it must be nice to be going places. I'm sorry, I am trying to make a conversation, but I don't know what to say.
Veronica gives a look like she raises one eyebrow. Why don't you tell me the things that you like with your new family, with Toya and Dazzles, or anything you've done with your pack? Do you want me to tell you things about our pack?
Um, I could tell you about myself, or I could listen about you. I would like to get to know you better, but I feel like when we spend time, you're always listening to me.
So, even though my last name's Nix, the way my family works, you are watched, and when you make progress, they will reveal who they are. So, even though people know my last name's Nix, I am from the Sanfuegos family. So, I
Oh,
recently learned I'm Spanish, like a couple of months ago.
she looks carefully at Veronica's pale skin, and she'll just
Right?
nod. She'll just nod.
However, I'm keeping the last name Nix, so when I learned Spanish, and I find anyone saying something that's not okay, I can get the drop on them, and they won't expect it.
You see, that is the opposite for me. Everybody assumes I know Spanish, but I don't know a lick of it.
She smirks at that.
I plan to learn it because of my mother, and I plan to learn Russian because of my father.
Bailey every so often will help me out with a few Spanish words, which that dazzles his mother.
I know who Bailey is. Bailey is my brother.
Yes, he's also the beta of my pack.
Oh, he is?
Yes,
She nods.
he's very good at what he does. He remembers a lot of the different rules. He sees things in a very collective manner. He was very happy about the ring we got him.
Cora thinks for a second. Um, so I overheard that Theo is here. I heard that howl.
Theo is back. His exile was dropped. He was allowed back in.
She nods. It seems like he caused a lot of pain.
And he's been through a lot of pain too, but it doesn't excuse his actions.
It seems like a lot of people care for him and a lot of people also
Mhm.
despise him.
Out of game, if you want, you can make an empathy check on Veronica.
She'll go ahead and make an empathy check.
I would say empathy and perception.
Okay. Uh, 2 successes.
So you could tell with Veronica that, like with Theo, like with whatever he did and such, like there's a lot of different emotions, like not good ones, like mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. She narrows her eyes at that. I'm I can't say that I'm not a little curious over him because every time I walk by, I hear people mumble, "Oh, she's his mirror," and to be described as somebody who did terrible deeds to my mother, I don't know, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
It's your choice how you feel about Theo. He fully owes up to what he did. It doesn't change what he did either. And there's some people that will not like him or forgive him.
I don't think I despise him. I don't even know him. And I suppose he is my family. Still, it's disheartening to feel that I'm already judged based on what I look like. Based on how I present myself.
Kara, you are you. You are not you. Your deeds and your personality are unique to yourself. Theo made his own decisions, and that's why he's held accountable. So you should not be feel shackled by his shame. You didn't do anything wrong.
I know I did nothing wrong. It's just people still do talk.
They do, unfortunately. You'll learn a lot more by the people that don't talk.
I even Papa and Mama, I feel they see me in a similar light to Theo, and they're afraid I will fall into his mistakes.
Don't tell your ma and papa this, but they were also very close to Theo. Out of most people, like, they were some of the few that got hurt the most.
She nods.
So consider yourself fortunate that some people do care to make sure you don't have to go through that type of trauma.
I do know I was kept away from the Alpha Dev whenever I first came on Sept.
You see Veronica with a look on her face like she is not happy hearing that name. Like, it becomes more grim.
Mhm.
I don't believe we'll be seeing Deb for a very long time. Or at all.
He was the one who hurt Mama the most. She's never said his name to me in that way, but I saw the fear in her eyes when I mentioned his name.
It's understandable why she would have those kind of fear in her eyes.
I don't even think the fear was for herself, it was all for me.
I don't blame her. And if you ever see him and he tries to talk or interact with you, you're to call me, and I will go get you.
She nods.
Do you have my number, by any chance?
I don't have a lot of people's numbers. I barely know how to operate this thing. She pulls out the fancy phone that she has because of Tolia, and she's just like, "How do I do?"
Veronica shows her like how you can create a contact. She puts Veronica Nix in, helps her set it up,
Hmm.
explains how you can get the keypad pad up. Is it an Android or an iPhone?
I would say Android.
Okay, good. Out of game, I prefer those. So yeah, she helps you set up the basic phone number stuff. Also, somebody else that might be able to help you out with your phone more is my nephew Calix.
Oh, Calyx? Okay.
I'm not sure when he's available. He's always busy on his computer, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind helping you with your phone.
So there's even more people I need to get to know.
There's a lot of people on this sept.
I have been wanting to look to find Symphony of Memes. I heard her name mentioned as one of the Glasswalkers.
She is, and she has a pack which is what people with a bonar named Moon Moon, which you end up seeing an amused look in her trying to suppress a laugh.
Cora will just smile and she'll say, "If you're going to laugh, then just laugh. It's better than suppressing it."
So funny thing with Moon Moon, when she starts chuckling. So there was a basket that was supposed to be a offering to the Fae. Moon Moon as a lupus went and ate the basket of bread. It didn't bother to read the note. People claim she didn't know how to read, but Moon Moon just disregarded it, didn't ask any questions. So the Fae got mad. So Moon Moon, anytime she eats bread, is cursed to give live birth to warm bread.
The Fae are the Fae are able to make people give birth to bread?
Yeah.
You see a look on her face that is it's not like it's like she understands the humor behind it, but there's also like just this intense thought.
However, the Fae are ones you want to be careful with. You can't always predict them and what their kind of pranks are. Not all of them are. It's just
I
you're not really sure what they can do next.
I did not know that they could affect the Guru in this way.
I didn't either till that happened. So I don't know if she still eats bread, but she was giving birth to warm bread.
She is lost in thought. Out of character. Um, she's a metis. She's never going to give birth, ever. And the like the thought that Faye can make people give birth to something like bread, her brain is just processing it.
Which is why she mentioned you can't predict the Fae just in case you got out of game ideas.
No, like she knows that. She's just
But yeah, Symphony of Memes has a small pack.
sometimes small packs are the strongest.
You can get a lot done with a pack, but the most important thing with a pack is they're your second family. They become like your siblings to you.
I do know this. Jesse is Jesse, Johan, and Asir, they are like my family.
They'll
It's
look after you.
I'm still learning this. Uh, I feel like they're more my friends instead of my family at this point, but I feel like those bonds will grow stronger.
They will. You're just getting used to being in a pack.
She nods.
Plus, those guys have been together for a lot longer. But when you do bond with them, you'll learn who you can trust and talk to, who you can rely on,
This
and all
is
their
true.
quirks and habits.
I do feel a little like an outsider looking in, but I also feel I have a purpose, that I am somebody who can comfort them. I took Jesse and Johan into Papa's bag, and we watched Queer Eye as we snuggled in a pillow fort made by Susie. She smiles.
I could see those two liking those kind of movies. You could always see if you could find some Looney Tunes with Wile E. Coyote and see if they get a chuckle out of that.
Wile E. Coyote? Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
She narrows her eyes. I'm
Are you
sorry. I've just been starting to watch TV. I've just been watching Netflix. I was told to watch the thing called Batman.
okay? Veronica turns on YouTube and she finds a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoon, and they watch that for like 15 minutes, a few episodes.
She giggles.
There's a few other shows with this type of humor too.
She touches the screen when she watches the Roadrunner, and she's like, "It must be nice to be able to run so fast."
Cats are very fast. I think the only ones I know that can go that fast are the Silent Strider tribe.
I think it would be nice to actually just be able to run.
Veronica looks at her and's like, "So what are you in? So is it the movement of the legs? Do you want to feel the wind to your face?"
She bites her lip and looks down.
I'm sure
I've
the
wanted to dance. Maybe just once.
the
Being able
legs
to
shouldn't stop. The legs shouldn't stop you.
She gulps. It's a hindrance. I cannot support myself on this leg.
Then you find a man that can support you, and while you dance together.
I do. I dance with Emery all the time. I just would like to be able to dance on my own, too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Ugh,
You did nothing wrong. Sometimes I forget some of the things that metas go through. Bailey sometimes deals with a difficult time not being able to have claws.
I.
However, she gets in. You see Veronica's face light up.
She tilts her head.
So you talk to your papa about this. You didn't hear this from me. Ask him if he could take you to a realm called Pangea.
Okay, ask him to take me to Pangea. I have heard Pangea is,
You'll find a lot of interesting plants there that are unique to Pangea as well.
she thinks.
I know you're like
The garden in Fenris has plants that should not exist.
now you can imagine if you find more and bring it like to Stargazer Garden or even to your family's house.
She nods.
Pangea has things that normally would not be seen in this world.
It's prehistoric, isn't it? I believe I've heard a little bit.
It is prehistoric, that realm. So there's dinosaurs. It's actually totally got Susie from there. I have a saber-tooth tiger kitten from there.
So you've been.
Yes.
Fond memories?
Yes.
She smiles.
You got to see things that isn't on this plane of the world anymore. It's very vast. The jungles, the heat, the waterfall.
I would like to explore different realms of existence.
And your papa knows how to get in and out of Pangea, so he'd be very good to go with.
Maybe he'll do that for me. Hmm. Isn't there risks in Pangea?
Not if Papa goes with you.
This is true. And why Pangea of all places?
I don't know anybody who would not be interested going in a realm with dinosaurs.
This is true. And there is one realm that I really like to go to all the time.
What's that?
Papa's back. Have you seen the world inside it?
No, I have not.
There's a door beyond his bag that is actually a mini realm.
Hmm.
If you walk to the depths, you will find a door. And it's there where my papa meditates. I think it's very interesting because it makes me think of Narnia. And I've read all of those books.
Probably better than the world of Game of Thrones. The world of Game of Thrones would be a terrible place to live in if you're not prepared for it.
There must be countless realms, actually.
There probably are. The Umbra, I'm not as well versed as some of the Theurges are.
The Deep Umbra is terrifying.
I'd like to explore more of those one day.
You would like to go to the Deep Umbra? She narrows her eyes at Veronica and looks her up and down. You cannot breathe in the Deep Umbra.
Out of game, I thought the Deep Umber were the realms.
Oh, like I'm pretty sure that's the Deep Umbra is the one where like Cthulhu and all that stuff resides.
Oh. Well, the Deep Umber has the different realms. Like the ethereal realm, I thought, and like I said, I'm still learning about.
I'm still learning too, so I may be the one wrong. I don't know. I haven't looked at the book.
Some
She
of the
only has a dot of Umbra lore anyway,
That's what Veronica has. One dot.
so we're both kind of like,
Uh,
maybe that's the Deep Umbra. I think.
Out of game, Veronica's really good if you want to ask her tribal stuff or Pharaoh stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is she eating? But there's always like new realms in the Umbra being formed as well. Or that's at least the gist I get.
Anyways, one thing I do want to learn, but there's no teachers here. I've been trying to discover Kalindo. I was seeing if I learned how to fight like that, I could increase my survivability chances. And also be a force to be reckoned with.
You'd want to talk to the stargazers about that.
I know Rafi doesn't know.
They're difficult to find.
The only person who knew how to perform Kalindo was Dev.
You don't want to ask Dev.
I don't. I know I don't.
One idea we could do, we could find the name of a Kalindo master. And if he's an ancestor spirit, summon him and get permission. See if we can get permission that he could help you. He or she could help you.
I know. I should discuss with my papa. I never even thought to discuss if my papa knew any Kalindo practitioners. He's been all over the world. How she like shakes her head like she didn't even think about that.
I'm sure your papa would know somebody, or at least point you in the right direction.
Now, there's one thing I do want to ask you.
Braga gives a look.
Why are you so protective over me? Is it because I'm family to Theo?
There are several reasons. But some of it also has to do with some of your past does also remind me of Bailey. You remind me of too many of my pack members.
She nods. Well then,
So
thank you. Thank you for being there for me. Then you haven't asked anything of me.
there's no need.
Well, thank you. And she grabs her and pulls her into a hug.
And Veronica just like has this look like she was surprised by this, by the sudden sign of affection, but she allows it and takes her in a hug back.
And then she'll whisper in her ear, even cats like hugs. And she'll scratch the back of her neck.
Oh, that feels so amazing.
She grins. And then she'll put a finger on the tip of her nose and she'll say, I believe I should be heading back. I do want to learn more if Papa knows any Kalindo practitioners, and I need to check in on Coda. Maybe I should talk to Jesse too. Things are going to be changing a lot in my life, and having a son that's a Nuisha is definitely.
Those are good people to talk to.
But he is the most wonderful thing in my life. Emery and Coda. Well, that and my family that I have now. I would have never thought I would be in a. I never thought my life would change like this. That I even would want this. Either way, I know that I am a strong person. I've always been a strong person. I have always lived for myself, and I will continue to do so. And she'll walk off.
Veronica smiles.
And thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. That was a scene in SotHW the Howling Wind.